Good evening, everyone. I am blessed with having Jacob and Brandon from Greedy Bunch of Parasites with me tonight. How you going, guys?
Yeah!
Thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. To the people who don't know who you are, that's my first question. Who is Greedy Bunch of Parasites?
I'll let you take this one, mate.
Three fuckheads from down south. We've been playing, like, me and Deano have been playing music since high school. We've known Brandon also since high school. So, and then Brandon wanted to be a part of the band, any means necessary. So we got him as a bassist. And ever since we made it a serious band, not music-wise or how we act, just putting it, more than a hobby. We ended up, starting our first show at with the abolished jam session to now making our own tour, like 3 years later.
Yeah, well, probably even less than that, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Now we've got a demo and a live EP, because we're too poor to go to the actual studio.
Yeah, well, it's expensive stuff. So what type of music? How would you describe your music?
So we
Popcore.
Yeah.
That's what we just do with Sam the other day, is popcore. So basically,
Yeah.
like a mashup of all the musical genres that influence each of us. So that could range anything from like Lamb of God to Metallica to Spirit Box to Suicide Silence.
Yeah,
it's
DRI.
a happy mash of everything. Like,
yeah, crossover, groove. Like, we don't really have a set genre. So, like Brandon said, we kind of just try to make our own bopcore.
Yeah, so like I'd probably say like Ethan describes it best, I reckon, which is like death thrash metal. A little bit of crossover in there.
But even then, we want to do some more like Sepultura groove from like Chaos AD sort of stuff, the only name to really come up is bopcore.
Yeah, that's the only way we can describe it these days.
But that's very cool. It leaves you so open to everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We don't want to get pigeonholed into a certain genre and then, later down the track we go,
oh, we really wish we could have played with Testament. Oh, but we're deathcore. We can't do that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. We want to play with Testament still.
Yeah, we still have, avenues open. If, like, one album we go, okay, we're going to go more fast in this, we're going to go more thrash and more death metal. And then another album we go, we want to get more chunk into it so we can go deathcore, groove metal, Pantera-esque.
Adaptability, I think, for us is quite important. So we don't tend to say that we're anything more than crossover metal, really. We don't even fit in the crossover very well.
Yeah, we have so much like influences that we'll go and listen to a new album of the bands that we love and go, I want some of that into this little shit show that is GBOP. And then we ended up working with it.
I like it. That's fantastic. It really is. You had, you mentioned it before, the Down and Out demo, which came out in April of 24, and now you've got the Maggoted Live EP, which came out in October 25. Where can people find this music?
So the main place to find it is obviously like your Spotify or YouTube, and it's basically on most music streaming platforms.
If you find us on Facebook, Instagram, we usually have a link tree that shows everywhere that we're on.
Yeah. So you'll be able to find us pretty easily through there. If you want a physical copy, you can buy a physical copy online through our Bandcamp.
Cool.
And then obviously come to shows. We've got our CDs and things there, so that's probably the best way to get a hold of our music is to buy a CD. It helps us do dumb shit like Smoke and Ruins.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just want to check us out, by all means, Spotify, YouTube, whatever, pick your poison.
I'm pretty sure that also while we did our little poll of someone getting a new copy without paying for it. I think someone that we're currently talking to on the phone right now ended up winning one of the prizes as well.
Yeah, and never messaged him back. Thanks, Jim.
So next, moving on, Bop Core. So Bop Core, the Bop Cast you guys have got going.
Yep.
That's just an excuse for us to get drunk and talk to people.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a phone camera staring at us. And us
It counts as talking to people.
And us acting like complete fucking dickheads. But we still, it's a podcast-ish.
It's not really.
No.
There's kind of an agenda, but it's not consistent enough for a podcast.
No.
It's just, we just sit on a couch and talk shit at each other.
Yeah.
About an hour or so.
Yeah, it's always about music, or even like we've talked about video games, all of that. And then we end up, sometimes we have hot wings, sometimes we play...
Not so hot wings.
Yeah, no, not so hot. And all we play... Or, we played Cornhole one.
Yeah, we don't talk about when we played that.
No.
Yeah.
But we just try and, spice it up so if people are watching, it's not just the same bullshit all the time.
It came about from us just wanting to constantly have something to give people to latch onto. Like as we said before, we can't afford to sit in the studio all the time and drop a new single every 3 months. Like that's not feasible for us. So the next best option was, well, let's just do a podcast sort of thing and just try and build some community around that, and people can latch on that way.
We've probably lost a lot of fans because they've ended up actually seeing our ugly mugs all the fucking time. Rather than just hear our music, they go, oh, shit, that's what they look like. Oh, Christ.
I think it shows that you're real people, and, and I think that's really good, really.
Absolutely. We have to, it shows us our worst sometimes. We're having too much drinks or having, shitty fucking hot sauce.
Yeah, the worst hot sauce. That's like, it might as well, it's not even like mild. I think mild's hotter than...
Yeah, no, I have like...
I've had a lot of ketchup.
I have indigestion issues, and I end up going, oh, this hot sauce is really nice. Brand's on the other side of the couch going, it's not fucking hot sauce, mate.
So Hidden Intent and Devoid Altar that I know of both got hot sauces. So is Greedy Bunch of Parasites, going to do one?
Oh, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to say no if the opportunity arises.
Yeah, Brand.
I mean, it's not going to be on par with the Hidden Intent hot sauce. That shit's so nice. I need to buy another bottle of that, actually.
What I think we could do is, knowing GBOP, we use our, we use peppers and a bit of Dean's tank cheese.
Yeah.
Homemade.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Homemade.
Homemade.
Yeah, absolutely. Home brewed.
Homemade. Don't ask what the secret ingredient is.
So moving on now, favourite gigs either you played or you've been to?
I'll actually split that up to two, actually. Favourite gig I've been to, it's kind of up to one or two. The first one would probably be me and Deano went and saw Guns N' Roses at Adelaide Oval. That one was fucking incredible because I already saw Guns N' Roses 2 years prior, and Dean would constantly ask me, oh, what song's next? What song's next? And I'd be like, just shut up and wait. And he'd end up being like, oh, I didn't know that song was coming. And I'm like, yeah, boy, that's the next song. And also Froth and Fury. Any of the Froth and Furies were incredible. But I reckon my personal favourite show that we've ever done was Outback Assault, which is all like killer bands in the middle of like untouched territories for when we are, like
air quotations on that.
Yeah, like we're in Melbourne.
Mervyn, just outside of Mildura.
Yeah, it was new to us, and we ended up with Brandon. Brandon sorted out along with Brody.
Yeah,
from
Old Mate Flowers,
Lead Heavy.
Yeah,
and we ended up making a little festival in the middle of bumfuck, and it just was such a good show to see killer bands. Of course, we played, but who gives a shit about that? But we saw so many killer bands.
Yeah, I think the thing with that Assault that I really enjoyed was it was our first time out of Adelaide, not just out of the state, but out of Adelaide. And then first time playing a regional show. We've heard that the regional crowd go pretty crazy. And then the fuckers sold it out. Our Assault sold out. And it was this is the first time we've even tried to do this. And the principle of it was, it's we want to showcase the local regional bands and then give the Adelaide bands that can't afford to just go to Melbourne or go to Sydney, or we give them the opportunity that they need to be able to go and play that first show that they may struggle to get themselves.
Yeah.
And then just go hell for leather on that. And it worked so well. We had 8 bands. And I think, because it sold out, every band got a good payday.
Yeah.
The merch was fire as well.
I just remember working the door after we played and having to turn people down and being internally how the fuck are we turning people down? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We have to put a shitty little drawn up sign that says sold out, and then everyone's still coming in going, wait, can we still come in? And no, we're up to capacity, which was fuck. What about you, Brandon? What's your other?
I mean, I've got to say my favourite gig. I haven't been to all of them, and I didn't go to this year's, unfortunately, due to family reasons. But Froth and Fury's got to be my favourite gig. What Northie's been able to string together with his team has been really beneficial to music in South Australia. And so I can't look past that. Obviously, I love going and watching Parkway, Lamb of God, Soundwaves, all of that sort of stuff. But for me...
Oh, Rip Soundwave.
But for me, Froth and Fury's got to be one of my favourite gigs at the moment. And I'm really look forward to seeing what Northie does in the future.
We hope eventually we'd like to play on Froth and Fury.
Maybe. It's extremely unlikely, but maybe. And then as for favourite gig that I played, I'm probably going to say the Hidden Intent Headboard Duel album launch down at South Coast Raw.
Oh, Port Wollonga. Oh, that was incredible.
That show was nuts. I think we were over capacity for that show because they had kids footy on that night.
Yep.
And so it sold out. We sold all our tickets by the time Storm the Crown went on the stage. But then you had all the patrons from the footy club were coming and going as they could please.
Yeah, and so it was Deano's birthday.
It was Deano's birthday as well. So we went on that. That was our last show in May last year. So we were pretty well rehearsed at that point. And it was quite a nice tight show from us. So it was all ages, so a load of kids came out, got the pit going.
First wall of death, wasn't it?
We had our first proper wall of death, circle pits for days. It was so much fun, and that was just us, and we opened the thing.
Yeah,
and that was before Hidden Intent and Head 4 and those boys came out and just absolutely slayed it.
So you got it
for me was one of my the place was packed.
Yes,
it was definitely well above capacity.
It was literally it was tight butthole.
It was I reckon it would have been 100 cap. There would have been an easy 140 people in that room. We were pretty over. That was one of the most fun shows I've played.
Tight butthole venue.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Sounds good, and sounds like you've actually got a few bands down south that way then.
Absolutely. We because there isn't that many venues down here. So
it's hard to know when there is a band that's from down south.
Yeah. So when Headbore is obviously up in Happy Valley, which is, not that far from where we are.
Yeah, I think it's the same postcode actually. Or it's 5161.
Yeah, it's not that far from. And then you find out some other bands also from the same area.
Yeah.
And then you end up just like...
I reckon off the top of my head, I could name at least probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah, and
that's there's quite a few new bands down here as well that are coming through.
And it's like we only just finding this out recently. Before we started, we thought, oh, no one's doing anything heavy down our way. And
we thought wrong.
Yeah, we thought wrong. We are now we now know a lot of people in the scene and shit like that are like, oh, we're actually down your way, and we're like, fucking hell, sweet.
Except for Wander South. I asked those guys, oh, are you like South? I'm guessing you're South being your name. They're like, no, we live in like northern suburbs. So I'm like, what the fuck are you called Wander South then?
because they don't want to wander south.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because they're
still a killer band. I love the Wander South.
Yeah, have you been to the smokers area in Colonnade? You don't want to wander south.
That's cool. I agree with you with Froth and Fury too, guys. Northie's doing great stuff. And you never know, he's supporting those younger bands or the local bands that are out there doing the right thing too. So you never know, you might have a chance.
Yeah, we've also thought with our Smoke and Ruins tour to help, like, because even though that we are somewhat quotations a newer band, we thought
let's give even newer bands
a go. Like our show at Elizabeth, that would be our second show on the tour.
Yeah, so second leg of the tour at Elizabeth RSL. We got we asked the Rec Society boys to jump on, and they're pretty keen. Well, boys and girls. They're boys and girls. I've got to get it all right. But yeah, and they were really keen to jump on. They've been killing it at the moment. They played a show on Thursday with Lonely Empire.
Yeah, the Metro.
That looked like that went off.
Okay.
And so we got those guys involved, and unfortunately, Sarcophagus had to pull out, and then we've somehow, I don't even know how I found them. I think they followed me and I followed them back, and then I actually had a look at who they were properly. And we got the Tartarus lads, which look like they're like a newer thrash metal sort of band. Like again, a lot of
it's like
and yeah, we
it's like the music is like old 80s
thrash,
but now
yep.
It's like definitely like old school thrash sort of vibe that I get from these lads. And we asked those guys, hey, do you want Sarcophagus' spot? And they're like, oh yeah. So now we've got two basically bands under 18 or borderline 18.
Yeah.
Playing the Elizabeth RSL, giving them a good shot. As well as also bringing those regional bands with Auto Drive and Nor, and giving those guys an opportunity to come over to the Adelaide area and have a play.
Because it's good to like help the newer bands, because Adelaide seems to, like get rid of a heap of venues that are like, they got rid of the Woodshed, they got rid of Enigma,
and obviously Anchor's under construction, but I can't see Metal ever going back to the Crown and Anchor.
And like, it's only the Ed now. We kind of need to give them a sort of hope that, yes, we can still play heavy music or punk music. It doesn't matter where you play it, it's still going to be very fucking good because you're still putting your all into it.
I honestly think that RSLs are going to be the place to go to. I think that obviously a lot of like those venues that Jacob mentioned that passed away, I think there are a lot of more venues that are going to join them in the future. Unfortunately, it's just the way the world, the way everyone are with tickets in Adelaide, and particularly with like live music and things. Like, there's a lot of people that take live music for granted.
Yeah, there's local live music
for granted. And so I think we will continue to lose venues, and I think we will start leaning on pubs. We'll start leaning on RSLs a little bit more. Probably like what it was back in the day, obviously before our time, before we were really a thing. But I think we are going back towards that. You're going to be leaning on those community centres in order to build your profile and build your fan base. So
if anyone has anything to take from this interview, support local bands,
particularly the young guns coming through.
Yeah.
Support those young.
It's literally
young bands coming
like maximum $30 a ticket. Not even that. Just go and see them, and it. Actually talking to them as well, like say, oh, you got a killer show. It does so much to the person, like in the psyche of like, oh fuck, we're behind a mic, we're talking, we don't think we're talking to anyone. For you to actually go in and say, fuck, that was a killer show, man. That does so much for anything, and buy a shirt, obviously.
For a young band, it means a lot to go and support them.
And obviously, buy merch. That's another one. Is like it goes straight to the band. It's always such a good thing to support the local band, support the merch. They go straight to them, because being a band in Adelaide or even Australia, it's hard. If you start getting big, there's always the Australian tall poppy syndrome. But obviously, we all want our friends and other bands that we've played with to succeed. And yeah, it's all about just giving back to your fucking favourite bands.
Yeah. No, very well said. I know the Elizabeth RSL is actually really well set up for bands as well, and I mean there's cheap drinks for punters as well because it's RSL prices, So that's a bonus.
After we played, fucking we get those cheap drinks.
But talking about gigs, so May, you're about to go on the biggest tour ever, or what?
Sorry, what was that?
You're about to go on your biggest tour ever.
Well, it's our first tour ever, really.
Okay, cool.
To bring up.
No, mate, I know all the tour dates off the top of my head.
Go on then, mate.
So, obviously, we start this off at Whyalla.
Yep.
A massive shout out to Maddie for getting in contact with us, and Stove wanting to jump on board Smoke and Ruins. So, Whyalla is now upgraded.
Let's stop first. The tour is called Smoke and Ruins because it's a tie between Nor's song Ruins, and we have a song called Smoking a Drink.
Cool.
So it's basically a shared lineup of Nor and GBOP with other bands.
Yep.
But sorry, I had to put that little bit in there.
No, I think that actually brings the purpose of the tour into it.
So
Nor are one of the most remote heavy metal bands in Australia, and by making them one of the most remote heavy metal bands in Australia makes them one of the most isolated bands in the world. So for them to come and play a live show, it's an 8 to 9 hour drive to Adelaide. So they got in contact with us last year when they supported Bengal Tigers, asking to try and play an extra show because obviously they're traveling so far.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking and brewing on it, and we were wanting to go and play the Eyre Peninsula. And I was like, you know what? I want to bring those lads over to Adelaide and give them another local show. But I want to repay that and go to Ceduna. So it was going to be an Adelaide Ceduna thing. And then it kind of evolved from there as to why don't we do Adelaide one weekend with, say, Whyalla or something, or a town along the way that's halfway between us. And then the next weekend with Port Lincoln. So we contacted Benny from Iron Triangle and got him to kind of work it out in terms of where we would play and potentially who we could play with.
Yep.
So we'll start. So the first one was Whyalla. The first weekend of the Smoke and Ruins tour, we've got Whyalla on the Friday and then Adelaide on the Saturday. So Whyalla, we've got all the drive supporting us. And then we've recently had Stove jump on board.
Legends.
Like literally as of this, it was like yesterday we announced that Stove wanted to jump on board. Like they were really keen. They really wanted to be a part of this tour with us. So they jumped on board and said that they were keen to do Whyalla. And so Whyalla's looking, you got all the drive, you got Stove, then you've got us and Nor. As a shared headline act.
Yeah.
And then we take that to Adelaide. We give
Elizabeth RSL.
Yeah, Elizabeth RSL. We give the young guns at Tartarus and Rec Society it's pretty banging way to open the show. We're dragging Auto Drive across with us as well, so they're coming to Adelaide. I think they played Adelaide 1 or 2 times before, but this is the first time that I would have seen them in Adelaide. And then obviously shared headline. You've got Nor and ourselves on that one. Then the next week we head over to Ceduna. So on the Friday night, we head to Sound City at Port Lincoln. It's just Nor and ourselves in a really tight, really compact venue. That's going to be hectic. I know Terror Axis played there last night with Nakatomi Plaza, and they fucking slayed.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to get over to Port Lincoln and see what the scene's like in Port Lincoln. We've been heavily recommended to go there by Chris McThrashy as well. When he went over there with Headball. So we're heading to Port Lincoln on the Friday with Nor, and then we'll head up to Ceduna on the Saturday. Nor's stomping ground. Yeah.
We got Stubby with that, don't we?
Yeah, brand new punk metal band over in the Ceduna area. Stubby. They're opening for us, and the show in Ceduna is completely free as well. So we'll have
that's cool.
I hope we have as many of the Ceduna locals out as we can, just to really promote that metal community and really celebrate what Nor are doing as a band over there.
Yeah, great stuff.
And then the final weekend...
we got a week break.
We've got a week break, and then the final weekend is the 22nd, 23rd, which is MUDU weekend. We head to Port Augusta, where we're playing Port Augusta with Suffolk Avenue and Life Pilot.
Yeah.
So we're not headlining that one, believe it or not, because Life Pilot are a far more successful band than either of them.
And also, they rip it.
And
the same with
go crazy. And then we go to Port Pirie, MUDU. That lineup's absolutely crazy.
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know the MUDU one off the top of my head. I believe you've got $8 Short, Suffolk Avenue. You've got Life Pilot going to that one.
Oath of Damnation.
Nemi Tole could go in there as well.
Seek Misery.
It's pretty crazy what the Smoke and Ruins tour, which was originally...
I found it. So we've got Nor, $8 Short, GBOP, Discomposed, Suffer the Venue, Archangel, Seek Misery, Oath of Damnation, Life Pilot, and Nembutolic. That's going to be a filthy fucking headline. It's going to be filthy.
The MUDU show is going to be pretty crazy.
And that's going to be our last show out of that tour. It's just going to end with...
basically, the tour just keeps growing, keeps getting better and better. It keeps hitting the marks, keeps hitting the strides. And what originally started as just...
An idea,
a show share, really. It was going to be Adelaide one day, Ceduna the next day, turned into this massive 6-day show with Benny McGee's brilliance in what he does with the Iron Triangle. If you ever want to try and get a show on the Eyre Peninsula, definitely go through Benny and Iron Triangle. He will make it happen, and he'll make it happen and some.
And that's the thing. The artwork that we've got,
Moshriff created.
Yeah, the artwork that we've got for each show, or even just a generalization of the whole tour that we have, looks so fucking badass.
Yeah, Chalky's work from Moshriff Creative has just been on point. And that's the company that works very closely with Iron Triangle Promotions, and Benny's able to really push home what this show's all about, and how basically just the vibe of the whole show. I really thank Benny for the hard work that he's put into making this happen.
And we are so fucking keen to get this started.
Oh yeah, all of us are itching to go.
At the bit, yeah.
We're we're all keen to go. Like, we're keen here at GBOP. I know Benny's keen to start making it happen, and I know the Nord boys are keen to get across as well. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
No, you've done really well. This is going to be an amazing. I can't wait to see like the little bits of it and actually catch you at Elizabeth and hopefully Pirie as well. I'll hopefully be at those gigs, so
Yeah,
that'll
man.
be cool. Yeah, like well done, guys, on initiating it. You know.
Cheers, brother. Yeah, we kind of like being down south. A lot of the bands in our scene in Adelaide are all up north.
Mm.
There are some bands that are down south, but like, you know, it's
some of them are either pretty central or fairly north. Yeah. Like, so
going from a south band to then go, hey, we want to go to Ceduna. It's like our last year we did the Eyre Peninsula and the Yorks.
No, we did York Peninsula. We didn't do Eyre Peninsula. We did Riverland and Eyre Peninsula.
What about Whyalla? I thought that was technically
that's Yorks, brother.
Right, never mind. I don't know.
Basically, it's been our goal. Like we kind of understood that we're not going to go from Adelaide and go straight to Melbourne. We need to dabble in the regions, and we kind of like those regional towns. Like the metal communities are really tight knit. They're pretty crazy, and they're chomping at the bit.
I think the way to call them is just sick cunts.
They are sick cunts, yeah. So, last year we played a show up the Riverland at Merbean, and then and we also did Whyalla, Hidden Intent, and When Silence Breaks. And yeah, this year we're like, right, well, we got to tick Eyre Peninsula off.
Yeah, we've got to try and one-up ourselves, which I think that's, since we started, each year we try and one-up ourselves. Like, we did this.
First year we did released a demo, played a couple of shows. Last year we played 13 shows in 12 months and released a live EP. So who knows what we're going to achieve this year, because we sure as fuck didn't think we were going to achieve what we did last year.
No.
The Smoke and Ruins tour is our first tour. We're playing Eyre Peninsula for the first time. We're keen. We're rearing to go. Like, it's gonna be good.
No, you're absolutely.
Next thing should be next year should just be a GBOP sex tape.
No.
All right, fair enough.
You're absolutely smashing it, and like you said, you're giving some younger bands a chance as well. Well done to you guys. Hats off. You've done you're setting up a great May for a lot of people. So well
Absolutely.
done.
Thanks, man.
No worries at all. I really appreciate you coming on the show as well. That's great of you to do that, and all the best for this May gig coming up.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you very much.
I hope you also have a very good May by seeing us as well.
I don't know. There's quite a good few. I reckon Pete's Death at the Metro are probably top.
Yeah, but we're not playing that week.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm going to that one because I have a week off.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
No worries, brother. You have a good one.